They cornered my crying daughter in the middle of a farmer's market. 6 elderly women shouting scripture and guilt. But what they didn't know was, I had every receipt. And I was about to burn their reputation to the ground. Right inside their own church. If you've ever wished you could give someone exactly what they deserved, especially when they try to hurt your kids, then buckle up. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most soul-satisfying righteous revenge stories you'll ever hear. There's a moment right after someone dies, where everything freezes. Not just time but logic, boundaries, and even decency. My ex-husband passed away last year in an accident. Sudden. Brutal. But even in death, he managed to leave behind destruction. See, while I was trying to hold our daughters, 17 and 15, together through the shock, the betrayal came to light. He'd been cheating. And not just once. He had 2 sons with his affair partner. Sons my daughters discovered by accident. Boys who were now also orphans after their mother died too. That moment didn't just break our family. It shattered any remaining trust. My daughters were traumatized, not just by the cheating, but by the emotional hurricane that followed. And then came his parents, my former in-laws. You'd think losing a child might soften someone. But no. My ex-in-laws turned venomous. They wanted custody of my girls. Claimed I wasn't raising them Christian enough. And when that failed, they tried to live with us. Let me say that again. They tried to move into my house after supporting their cheating son, after emotionally destroying my daughters. That second part. Not a chance in hell. We were already in court over the custody fight. And then came my youngest daughter's birthday. She just wanted one thing. A day at the weekend farmer's market. Local meats, fresh eggs, warm bread, chocolate. It's her happy place. So I gave her a little birthday budget, let her wander, and watched the joy light up her face. Until it disappeared. About an hour passed. I was getting ready to call her, but my phone buzzed first. It was her. Tears. Panic. Mom. Need you. Some old women are yelling at me. I don't know what to do. My heart stopped. My oldest daughter and I ran. Through the crowds. Past the produce stands. And then we saw it. 6 older women surrounding my daughter like a pack of wolves. Their words slicing through the air. She's unchristian. She's cold-hearted for not helping raise her baby brothers. She's abandoning her grandparents in their time of need. I could see my daughter shrinking into herself, shaking. Her arms full of candy, but no sweetness left in her eyes. Those women weren't strangers. Some of them I recognized from my ex-in-law's church. Women who'd smiled at me years ago. Now turning on a grieving child. Something inside me snapped. I stepped in front of my daughter like a shield and told my eldest, "Take your sister, pay for everything, go to the car. Now." Then I turned to the women. And I unleashed every ounce of fury I'd been holding back for months. How dare they corner a teenager? How dare they weaponize faith? They tried to quote scripture, and I reminded them of another verse. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Eventually, the screaming got so intense that the market manager asked us all to leave. They followed me to the parking lot like vultures, whispering, judging. But I was done playing nice. And I wasn't done yet. That night, after my girls were finally asleep, still trembling, I logged into Facebook. A friend from the church, someone decent, had messaged me. Apologized for what happened. Then dropped the bombshell. My ex-mother-in-law had posted a story in the church group, painting herself and her husband as victims. Claimed we kicked them out, left them penniless and alone. She even lied about the boys, saying I refused to raise them after she and my ex hired a surrogate because I couldn't have more children. She twisted everything. Said I hated the boys because they were male. Said my daughters were cold-hearted, and it was our fault her grandsons were sent away. And worst of all, people believed her. Dozens of supportive comments, teary emojis, offers of help. The more extreme churchgoers lit up like a Christmas tree of judgment. But she made one mistake. That church may be old-fashioned, judgmental, even anti-LGBTQ+. But cheating, That's their one red line. And I had every receipt. You know how some women burn their ex's clothes? I printed everything. Photos of my ex making out with his affair partner in our living room. Screenshots of their texts. Graphic, mushy, humiliating. Messages from his parents supporting the affair. But that wasn't all. I had emails where they called my daughters bastards. Said they were the reason their father died, because they told me about the cheating and triggered the divorce. One message was dated just 2 days after he passed. Their grief had turned to pure venom, and I was done protecting them. I paid extra to have everything printed on glossy, color-rich paper. Then I went home and made songbooks. Well, not really. They looked like the little hymn binders the church hands out. But when you opened the first page, there was my ex tongue down the throat of his sidewoman. Clear. Undeniable. Captioned. Ex-husband's name and affair partner. A love story. I made a dozen of these. That Sunday, I walked into the church quietly. My girls stayed home. There's a little desk in the back where they stack hymnals for people who forget theirs. Nobody checks them. Nobody guards them. I slipped my binders into the pile. Left. And waited. By Monday morning, the church's Facebook group had exploded. People were furious. My ex-husband, once mourned, was now being labeled every name under the sun. Adulterer. Backslider. Disgrace to the faith. They were calling the affair partner. Well, words I can't repeat here. The pastor had to step in just to stop people from dragging their souls straight to hell in the comments. But the part that made my blood sing. People turned on my ex-in-laws. They were accused of abusing my daughters. Of enabling the affair. Of spreading lies in the name of God. And me. Suddenly I was a broken woman who lost her way. But who might still find the light. They sent letters to my daughters. Apologies. Invitations to rejoin the community. I didn't reply. But I read every word. My ex-mother-in-law posted a final message on her wall. I feel so alienated. No one cares for the elderly anymore. My great son would have cared for us if he were alive. With what money? I was the breadwinner. Always was. Her great son left behind a financial mess. My daughters got his life insurance and his lies. They're in therapy now. Healing. Learning that love doesn't have to come with guilt. As for me, I sleep better now. Not because of the revenge. But because the truth, our truth, finally had its voice. Sometimes standing up for your kids means walking through hellfire with your head high. And sometimes it means printing the truth in high gloss and letting karma do the rest. If this story made you feel even a little bit vindicated, hit that like button. Tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories that prove justice doesn't always wear a robe. Sometimes it wears a smile.